happened.
I'm trying to use my own quote on me.
Okay, so describe your dreams in one quote.
I'm a big Nip fan, even before, he became real popular afterwards. So I would say favorite quote or describing our life in a quote would be, don't take no handouts. If you build it, it's more lucrative. And literally there's been like business opportunities that have presented themselves. They look like opportunities. They're not good opportunities, but that have presented themselves. And like that statement, that quote is in my head. Like, all right, don't take no handouts. If you build it, it's more lucrative. All right, so no, we're gonna say no to that deal. That's not good for us. Let's go take our time and let's build it.
The quote I would use is something that I don't remember the origins of that quote, but it's something that we say. You remember?
So I think the origin came from watching Avengers Infinity God. And we were talking all types of like time loop stuff and all that stuff. And then we applied that concept to our lives with this quote.
It's something that we say to each other in times when we're like anxious or wanting things to happen. And that is that it already happened. That's the quote. It already happened. And that's just to remind us that we don't need to stress about when it will happen or what's gonna happen, because whatever we want, it has already happened. So we try to like put myself in like my future state and like almost like a fly on the wall type of thing of like, relax, It may not happen in your time frame, but it will happen because it already has happened. So I think that's something that I tell myself to remind myself that, as long as you just keep making the steps every single day, it will happen eventually.
So what goes into you manifesting your dreams?
So every morning, and like I used to do a whole more of these, but now I just do like 10, is I literally write down affirmations and manifestations of what I want my dreams to be. And I write them actively as if they've already happened. So I'll put, you have 5 kids. I manifest that, Queen, almost every morning. Not yet, but it happened. You are a king, you are a husband, you built West Harlem, you started IMI, like things that I'm actively trying to do and want for the future, I'm actively writing down in my journal every single morning. And there was a 3-month time period where I wrote 100 affirmations every single morning. It took me almost an hour to 2 hours to do. I don't do that anymore. I ain't got the time. But I felt like extremely powerful during those moments, because you spend an hour in nothing but positivity. You spend an hour in the morning surrounding yourself with the future manifestation that you have. By the time you get off the couch, right, you're just like, dang, I did a lot today. You've done nothing. You've done not a single action but right. But like I really felt like, yeah, I'm a king. I'm a god. Like I'm doing this stuff right here, little G.
I would say we manifest by making like consistent like baby steps. And like because we do have at any given time we do have a lot going on. There may not be like leaps and bounds made, because we got full-time jobs, we got this, we got that. So, but we have been very good about, since 2017, like making small baby steps, whether it's the podcast, whether it's, manifesting our dreams in the morning, just those little baby steps.
The baby voice.
Baby steps. Something that I have picked up from the Secrets to Success podcast with Eric Thomas. They try to always remind folks that, the people that are successful right now, all of the people that you see, most of them, or many of them maybe weren't even the best at what they did. They just survived. They just kept going when everybody else quit. So I try to keep that in mind when I'm in those slumps, is like, you don't have to be the best at what you're doing. You just have to be the best you can do at your current moment. But you just have to keep going, because at the end of the day, so-and-so, competitor X or whatever is going to, go through similar struggles, and they may give up. And so that is your opportunity. If you keep going, you will survive, you will outlast, you will, you will manifest whatever you're trying to do, as long as you don't quit. I used to say, like, failure is one of my biggest fears. I no longer say that, and I don't think I believe it either. And that's because I'm really trying to, you know, go along with the mindset that as long as I just keep going, I will be successful. So all I have to do is keep going.
As you're, you know, climbing your mountain or trying to reach whatever peak you're trying to get to, build your ladder in as many small steps, like the Queen said, that you can put on there. The easier it would be for you to climb, and the easier it would be for you to pick someone up behind you as well.
Great question.
We just be talking.
Right.
Let's see.
Welcome to our lives.
Back to you.
Maybe a time that you have failed in life.
Oh yeah, got those.
What that specific failure made you learn? Like, how did you get back?
The first business we started was True Forever, but the first like real product we put our time into and really, you know, invested in was Black Wall Street, the board game. And one of my virtual mentors, one of my virtual mentors, Dame Dash, and you know, I was listening to some of his interviews, and he has several interviews where he's like, if you're real, you don't need promotion. If you're real, you don't need to advertise. If the work is good, your customer is gonna come, and that's all you need. And I was like, yeah, Black Wall Street, the board game, we're real. This product is real. We don't need to advertise. People are just gonna come.
False.
Completely false. Completely false. So
they're like, who are you?
Right, we never heard of this. So we did a Kickstarter for Black Wall Street, the board game, in early 2018, late 2017. And you know, we made our little video, we had our prototypes out, but we didn't do any real like on the ground advertisement for the Kickstarter. We just posted in a few places, and we were just like, I was just like, you know what, people would have come. Dame Dash said, if you real, you don't gotta advertise. Another kind of caveat with Kickstarter is if you don't raise the funds that you said you wanted to raise, you get $0. So if you say, you know, your goal is, I think we set it for like $20,000. $25,000.
I won't forget.
That was me being very ambitious, very optimistic, as I still am to a fault to this day. The Queen was like, no, let's do something realistic, like 5,000, 7,000. And I was like, nah, Dame Dash said, if you work is good, you don't gotta advertise, if you're real, all that good stuff. So we went big. Unfortunately, we raised like maybe $6,000, right? So if we would have listened to the beautiful galactic goddess over here, we would have been successful right out the gate. But we weren't. We got $0, and I was in a slump for probably like a week or two, like, dang, I guess I'm not real.
Everything happens for a reason.
I guess no one wants this board game, right? I was in a little bit of a slump. Am I really an entrepreneur? All that good stuff. But we got it together. We were able to raise our own, you know, personal money. We started advertising, created a Facebook group, got over 600 people in that Facebook group, started advertising on Instagram. I think Corey was the person that told us, like, post on the official Black Wall Street page, pay for that, and that can get you in front of people. And I was like, all right, I guess we're not real like Dame Dash. Let's put some money into advertisement now. But like learning how to advertise, learning how to promote yourselves, and learning how to, you know, use different platforms allow us to sell out of the first edition of the game in like 3 months. Right, and you know, years later, we're now on the second edition, now on the masterpiece edition, actually. So the fact that we were able to learn, advertise, right, build that into the structure, you know, build your community and like engage with your community, do Instagram lives, do focus groups, do interviews on YouTube, like all that stuff is what we were able to learn from that failure back in 2018.
Potluck is basically an app where people can go to get home cooked food, kind of like an Uber Eats, but for home cooked food. I don't know nothing about tech, okay? I really don't. What business do I have started a tech business? I don't know. But like I said, we're crazy people. We did it. And so we've been, and honestly, so it started from, we were sitting outside of an Olive Garden and with my parents in Riverside.
We're gonna have some Olive Garden tonight.
Yes, we are. And I don't remember how the actual concept of it or where the conversation started from, but I remember in that while we were waiting outside, we came up with like, oh, what if we had an app or something like that where you could get home cooked food? Too bad it's not legal. And then like a year later, I remember seeing an article, or I don't know if you sent it to me or whatever, but that it became legal. And so we decided to start this, long story short. But It has been very difficult. Obviously, neither one of us are necessarily like experts in tech or like, I do myself a little expert in the kitchen, you know what I'm saying? But not necessarily in like on the entrepreneur side. So last year we focused on getting the app going. So we have a functioning, what we like to call like a functioning MVP. So we have an app that we uses like low code. So I have De'Von and my brother TC, working. They're my techies. TC's my CTO, and so they've been building the app. So it's good to go. Now we just need chefs on the app to actually supply the food. And that has been very challenging to get chefs actually committed and on the app. So we do have. My mom was gracious enough to be the first kitchen on the app. I will always, obviously I'll always love you no matter what, but just even that extra little bit of love for that sacrifice that she was willing to do. So Ladies Kitchen, always be number one in my heart. But got another family friend, shout out to Grandy, always coming through.
Always.
Got us another chef, Karen, Dessert Divas, dinners and desserts on the app. So we've got 2 functioning kitchens, but it's been difficult to get more chefs on the platform. And so this year, at the beginning of the year, we thought, we have a great idea. I did some research on how, some of our competitors were getting their chefs. And I was like, we're going to do a grant program because money must be the issue. So if we pay for people's permit, then we're going to have people flooding in this app. False. False. Long story short, our goal was to get 3 chefs signed up. We got 3 chefs. I was like, bam, look it, ducks in a row, lined up. That was in January. February, we actually got them signed up. Unfortunately, none of them have actualized into chefs on the platform, right? That was a gut punch when just slowly but surely, they started to fall off. And, I tried to take that not as a failure, but and this is why I say it's so fresh, this past week was I had to get myself out of my old mindset of you failed, instead of this is a slump, and you just have to figure out how you can market to, maybe it's you're not, marketing to the proper audience. So that's why we've been doing putting in a lot of effort into the marketing side, since that's not any of our specialties, reaching out and getting some help with that. But yeah, I think that would be probably the biggest thing that hurt my confidence as an entrepreneur. The fact that I started this company, everybody I talk to, I bring the idea up, says, that's a great idea, man, I should have done that, all the stuff. So I'm like, well, yeah, then all these people are going to be flooded to this app, and it's just not that easy. Nothing is that easy. So that's something that I'm actively working through, that I would say would be, in terms of what we consider a failure, quote unquote, that's probably the most recent and biggest one that I've been dealing with lately.
In life, in business, in love, whatever, there's always going to be highs and lows, right? There's always going to be your valleys and your mountains. But the quote that I said was, and this was just off the top of the head, I don't think I got this from anybody, but if I did, I'll give you credit, whoever you are. What you do in the valleys will determine if you'll ever see a mountain again. Right? So I think sometimes we get stuck in this valley, and we maybe just want to stay there. We want to rest a little bit. It gets comfortable in here. We feel defeated, or like the queen said, we see this ladder and it's oh man, I don't know if I can get to the top of those other people. What you do in that moment, in that valley, will determine if you ever see that peak on the mountain. And trust me, the view is much better at the top of a mountain than it is in the middle of a valley. That's all I'm gonna say.
Right.
Last question then. In a perfect world, where do you see yourself on the measure of manifesting your dreams? Where do you see yourself? Where do you see how far that you've progressed?
I think that having Potluck be the premier meal delivery, or not even delivery, but just the premier platform where people go to get home cooked food, I think would be amazing. We're currently in Riverside County. We haven't necessarily talked about expanding, so I'd be perfectly happy if just in Riverside. If you in Riverside, you know about Potluck. I don't care if nobody else knows about it. But if you're in Riverside, no, we use Potluck.
Yeah.
Forget all about these other apps. We use Potluck.
Like Farmer Boys.
Exactly. You know how exactly. On the health side, as I mentioned, I would love to have a health coaching certification program. So I think that being a health coach, that's step number one. I'm currently, in getting my certification right now, and I realize that I will grow in a couple of years, right? And to me, you're a true master when you can teach people how to do what you do. So it's one thing to be good at what you do, but to be a true master of health and to really make the impact, I need other people also doing and teaching people what I know. So I want to be able to create a program that shows other coaches how to coach their clients to improve their health.
Make it happen.
And then I would also love to, if we just manifesting, I'd love to have choreographed even just a snippet. Just a from Beyonce. That's all I'm saying.
Come again, if our kids are watching this, or when our kids are watching this, Kendry, Delton, Dwight, all you, Jerome, all you folks, sitting around watching this on a screen or on a hologram, whatever we're watching in 10 years, I feel like we'll probably be 30 to 40% into the full manifestation, because the full manifestation is having a beautiful family, having them live in a house, having them be happy, following their dreams, and kind of ripping from what you said a little bit, like if we're able to master our crafts and teach them how to start a business, teach them how to buy a house, teach them how to live a healthy lifestyle, to see, here we go, I'm getting chills, to see my daughter walk down the aisle, or see my son up there getting married and starting their own family, I feel like that would be 100%, right? So in 10 years, them as 6-year-olds running around playing, like that's probably 30. When they get to 30, 25, whenever they get married, buy their house, have their maybe first child, that would be like, we did that. We did that. We did that. We living the dream. And I'm sure there's gonna be tons of other stuff that's happening in the background, but truthfully, like if that happens or when that happens, that would be 100%. Everything else is extra credit.
You crying a little thug tear at your daughter's wedding? Probably.
I would, when she chooses the right one, and I'm like, I'm proud, I would probably release a few thug tears. I'm not too ashamed to cry at a wedding, at my daughter's wedding. Nah, there will be some thug tears.
You heard it here first, Kendry.
Yeah, especially if I'm walking her down oh goodness. I remember in the video, like your dad walking you down and being like, are you ready? Yep. And then seeing you do the subtle, yep, that's a dope moment. I love that we captured that. So I see myself doing something very, very similar with Kendry and the other daughters.
Oh, and Sage.
Sage, yes.
Hey y'all. We just want to say we love you both, De'Von and Sinclair. And we are so glad that we're able to see your love grow from UC Davis till now. Thank you for letting us be a part of it, and we just hope that we're able to see your love grow even beyond this, and hopefully we stay in each other's lives. When the babies come along, you can call us for babysitting, at least me, I don't know about her.
Just invite me to any baby shower party, anniversary party, all that. Just give me a holler, just let me know if I need to bring Tupperware, if you provide Tupperware, I got y'all. If I need Tupperware, just let me know. I'm a little drunk right now.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, we love you guys, and we can't wait for the wedding in a few days. We know it's going to be beautiful.
We're just very excited, and we're very happy to just, like Georgia already said, to see your union just flourish throughout Davis, and up until now, essentially, it's been beautiful. It's been very warm, especially for me that has absolutely nobody in my life. So it's just been great.
What about me?
Oh yeah. Yeah, but it's just been beautiful to see y'all being the first ones to get married. So we just are very happy and just hopeful for your future.
And Sinclair, we don't know if you're gonna remember what you told us on the party bus,
Yes,
but we love you for that.
it was so real. It was
You
so
almost
real.
made us cry.
Yeah, it was so real. Just like one-on-one conversations. We could, rewind that on a different occasion.
On a sober occasion.
But we just want to say, we're happy for you guys, and let us know when more parties will come. Because we will be there. Maybe not on time, but we will be there. But we love y'all. So,
Okay, bye.
bye.